Hey,
finally.
party people,
we
finally. Took us 45 minutes to get here.
Yeah.
But we are back. Well, let's see. 2 weeks and 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
This is our first one in 2 weeks. Hello, Sam. Sam is in
Hi,
the chat.
Sam.
Sam says, I've missed everybody.
Aww.
We have two. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a bit of a short one since we've had so many technical difficulties today trying to record this. We normally record these at 9 p.m. every Friday, but it is 9:46 at the moment of recording this.
Whoops.
Yeah, so we're on a little bit of a time crunch. But we are here. We're back. If you did not know, this is episode 76 of the Whatnauts Captain's Log. I have the little number wrong down below in that thing, which I will fix right now. There we go. If you didn't know, I'm Kyle. That's Melissa.
It is
Melissa,
me.
how are you?
I'm good. I got a new laptop, which is long overdue.
Woo!
The
New
old
laptop.
laptop caused plenty of technical difficulties on its own, so I got this new one. I'm like, crisp and clean. Everything should be just smooth sailing from here on out. I have to log back into Skype. I forget that the Skype account is connected to the email address I set up when I was 13. I have to figure out how to log into that thing. I get logged into Skype. Everything's working. Friends, if you find yourself with a new Skype and you're like, this is so weird, I can hear every noise that Skype is making, but no voice out of the person I am calling to. Kyle, don't do that to me again. I'm going to have terrible flashbacks. No.
For those of you not on the video version, I was just mouthing like I was saying something, but I wasn't saying anything.
I should have known with your dance history you'd also be good at mime. If this happens to you, make sure that where it says default communications device as your audio, output, and you think, well, clearly this is working because I can hear Skype. It ain't working. You have to specifically set it to whatever headphones or whatever you're using, because that's the only thing that can connect to your friend. It's not an all or nothing. You can hear Skype and not hear your friend. That's a setting somebody thought was a good idea, and I accidentally wandered into it when I installed this thing.
Yeah, well, I know what it's like having so many things and just nothing works.
Yeah.
And it's no fun. 'Cause you were out of town 2 weeks ago, which is why we missed the one 2 weeks ago. Or you had like a family thing or something.
What was I doing?
It was supposed to be me and Ignacio, which is why if you just saw, I accidentally put up his social media thing for a second.
Whoops.
I was like, whoop, wrong one.
Well, that's me now. I'm sorry, Ignacio. I've taken over your life.
Yeah. But we were supposed to record. If you guys don't know who Ignacio is, he's one of the hosts of our video game podcast, Crossplay. And I was working on my computer trying to get everything set up, and it just wasn't working. My computer was having me restart multiple times, all that stuff. It was the worst. And so I was like, dude, I think I need to call it. I think I need to be like, let's just cancel this one, which was not fun. And then I was like, we'll be back next week.
Oh.
And then that one didn't happen because I got sick. Which I know I will talk about in just a bit so you guys can hear exactly what happened. That was a wild one. Yeah. I missed Thanksgiving, Melissa.
No, the fact that you were so sick that you're like, I have to tell everybody how much I threw up. People will love to hear about the vomit.
It's the internet. Of course they want to hear about the gross stuff. But yeah. How was your Thanksgiving, though?
It was nice. It was small. I just went over to my parents' house, and Thanksgiving's always small because we do like a big thing at my aunt's house on the weekend. So Thursday itself is just, we will make like, just like a nicer than usual, like Sunday dinner sort of meal. And we watched the entire parade, the entire dog show. And then my parents and I watched Infinity War.
Nice.
Because they hadn't seen it before. They told me they had. And they're like, no, we haven't seen it. And I'm like, you told me you did. So I think they watched Civil War last year and just gave me the wrong name when they're like, yeah, we watched the big Marvel movie. Right. Too many wars. My mom was so upset by Infinity War. She said, I'm never watching a movie with war in the title again. And I said, not even any of the Star Wars? And she said, no, I won't do it.
It's not even a war. It's like a family feud.
She was not having any of it. And I told her, like, they all are alive. Like, you remember there was a new Spider-Man movie earlier this year. And she's like, I don't like it.
I don't believe you. There you go. That's good. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with my family when I go back and visit them for the holidays. Because
yes, right? What will you do?
What should
with
I do with them? Because last year we watched all the Marvel.
Oh yeah,
that's what I did with them. I don't know what to do with them this year. I was thinking maybe we could do a bunch of the Star Wars stuff, since there'll be all those Star Wars movies. There's The Mandalorian. Maybe I can wildly look like a crazy man trying to explain the Clone Wars and all of that stuff. So in between these two, that's when he got the Padawan, but she was really this, and then like
you just have a whiteboard,
right? Yeah.
You just wheel it out from a room in their own home.
And so she's a Padawan. She never became a Jedi, but she's a Force user. But she's now no longer a Padawan, and you know, it was so good. So, Sam suggests gag them and stuff them in bowling ball bags.
Well,
sounds good to me. Clean, clean family fun.
Why do you think they have that many bowling ball bags?
Look, I would have to go buy some. I don't even know where you would get those.
Are you any good at bowling?
No.
I don't think anybody is. I think the people that are good at bowling are good at bowling. And there's like such a vast gap to like the normal person. Right?
Yeah. That
I feel like
right.
When you go bowling, you are either bowling out of the 300 total points, you're like up there, you're like a 291 point professional, or you're just like a beer schlub who can get 107. Nobody's in that middle range. Nobody is.
That's funny. Yeah, it's something that I think you have to. Let's see, I'm fixing the cameras and stuff there. Okay, it's something that I think if you want to get into bowling, like you have to really deep dive into it, and it's not. I wouldn't even say it's super complicated, but it's just that like you need to join a league.
Yeah,
you need to get a bowling shirt.
I mean, the shirt is half the effort.
Yeah, and it's like no one looks good in those shirts.
Rockabilly dads do. Sam, didn't your dad have a bowling shirt? She'll report back soon.
Yeah. I remember one time we took a field trip. Sam says multiple.
Oh,
by the way,
right?
She had one too.
Cute family look.
But we took a field trip to a bowling alley. I want to say 4th grade. I don't know. I don't remember when. But I remember there was one time I was like, I want to see if I can get a gutter ball every single time except the last one, and see what my score would be, just to be like, oh yeah, I bowled an 8.
This is a good goal,
right? Yeah, it was just like I'm just gonna aim for the lowest thing possible. And so I did that, and it was just one whole game: gutter ball, gutter ball, gutter ball, gutter ball, one after the other. And then it was the last shot, and I was like, all right, I actually need to try and like get a strike, or just get however many I can knock down. And I put too much spin on it, and I got a gutter ball.
None.
I got none. I scored none in bowling. It was like one of those things of like, this is gonna be so cool, it's gonna be so good. I'm gonna get a gutter ball on everyone except the last one.
Perfect 10 points. Nope. 10, 9, however
not even that
many pens there are.
It was terrible.
Oh
well. Melissa,
yes,
you seemed very excited about the James Bond trailer.
This and Black Widow. We got 2 very good spy movie trailers this week. Thank you for letting me talk about James Bond first, even though I feel like Black Widow is the bigger news item of the week.
I don't know.
I love her.
They're both about equal, and I haven't even seen the live action trailer for Mulan yet.
It's pretty good. That one's also good.
So
we're in for a good year of film. Yes.
Break it down. James Bond.
Okay.
What's happening?
Did you watch it? Do you know anything about James Bond? Okay, good.
I have seen a good number of James Bond films. I played a lot of GoldenEye on the N64. I've seen Casino Royale.
Good.
And then what's the one after that? That's Skyfall?
It's Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, Skyfall, Spectre, and then this new one this April, No Time to Die.
Okay, I have not seen Spectre, and I've not seen. I was gonna say I've not seen this one. But yeah, no duh.
No one has. Not even Daniel Craig has seen every second of it.
I don't really remember the Daniel Craig ones. They weren't memorable to me. Quantum of Solace came out, or Casino Royale came out when I was young enough to be bored by that type of film.
Okay.
And I was just like, I want explosions. Give me the action, not playing poker.
Yeah, it is a slow burn. It's a sultry one, Casino Royale. But it is regarded among Bond fans as one of the very best Bond films.
Yeah.
I think it's worth revisiting or visiting for the first time as an adult, like I did.
Yeah. Like I was bored and not into it, but I could recognize like, all right, this is actually a good movie. It's just not for me right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Now
I wouldn't have liked it
be.
as a 16-year-old either. This really sets into you as an adult, I think.
Yeah. So what did you think of No Time to Die?
I'm very excited. There's more of Madeline Swan in there than I was guessing, who's the woman he ends up with at the end of Spectre. And he like walks away from the service for her, which is atypical of the Bond movies. They're like a girl, a movie, no real crossover there. It just starts up again at the next film. No carryover. So we all knew that actress was coming back, but to see that she's not just there for the emotional weight of James Bond's story, but she's very, very integral to the plot is very interesting. Because this seems to be taking a lot out of Spectre, which tried to take the events of the first 3 movies, Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, and Skyfall, and try and like connect all of them when they were seemingly otherwise like minimally connected films. It's like, no, there was somebody back there pulling all the strings the whole time.
Yeah.
And it got kind of corny, a lot of people believe. But it also, like, the entire movie was about this plot, but it was kind of corny. So people are like, how much is this going to carry over? Because it's
interesting.
It was a little obnoxious, but also, is it more obnoxious if they set everything up and then just completely drop it for the next film? And it looks like this is carrying all of that stuff over, but like trying to do it as gracefully as possible and introducing a lot of interesting new stuff. My friend and I are very excited for Rami Malek as this new villain, because he's one of our faves. Mm-hmm. We don't know anything about this guy. We know he's some sort of an environmentalist.
I saw a theory of who his character is.
Okay.
The theory is his character is Dr. No.
Yes, this is
James
out
Bond
there.
film. And I was like, that would make sense based off the title of the film and the real famous line
they didn't call it Not Any Time to Die.
It's No Time to Die.
No Time to Die.
Yeah. But there is that line in the movie where James Bond and Dr. No are talking there, I think, and he's like, what do you expect me to do? Something. He's like, no, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. And then he's like, sorry, no time to die. So I wrote in our Discord that I was like, I feel like James Bond is being extra sassy here. He's just like, I have no time for this. No time to die. No.
This is the Daniel Craig Bond. He's like always a rogue. He like doesn't want to be there. He just wants to go off his own way.
Time for this. God,
and this time he truly has. He left at the end of Spectre. He's going to go off and just like make a nice life with Madeline. This trailer comes back, sets up his CIA agent friend, Felix Leiter, has dragged him back in for a mission. And like he thinks Madeline has betrayed him. But we don't know, like, what that is. She seems really involved in this Rami Malek plot. We don't know why. Oh, and then you've got Lashana Lynch, who was Captain Marvel's best friend in that movie earlier this year, as this, like, new 00 agent that is, like, slid in to MI6 to take over James Bond's spot since he left. She looks great. Q's in it. M's in it. All the letters. We got them all.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting assortment. Like my friend and I were talking about it, and I'm like, it's like we've seen all the ingredients that you were to be challenged with on Chopped. It's like they've given us the first 5 minutes of a Chopped episode.
They haven't revealed the secret ingredient.
Yeah, we do not know what is going to be made out of any of these ingredients yet. I'm very excited for this. This trailer gave me a lot more than I was expecting out of it. Like it showed us a lot, but also enough so that we know very little.
Gotcha.
And this is going to be
you this. Do you think it's setting up? I don't know if it's like a larger James Bond universe sort of thing, or like a passing of the torch of like, okay, my actual name is James Bond, but I'm not going to be James Bond anymore. Someone else can have 007 as this new character is. Is he being like, you can be the next 007? And that's what they end up going with? I'm not sure. What do you think?
Okay. So, in Pierce Brosnan's final James Bond movie, in Die Another Day, regarded to be the worst of the James Bond movies.
It was pretty bad.
Halle Berry is in that as an American espionage agent, and they were trying to set her up as like part of a cinematic universe. There was going to be a whole series of films about her character that were going to spin off from this. It never took off.
Catwoman.
Catwoman direct spin-off of Die Another Day.
They saw that film and they were just like, never mind. No, thank you.
So they tried that once before. It didn't work. And okay. In Skyfall, James Bond returns to his family's old estate. Skyfall's the name of the estate. That's where that name comes from. And it's just him and like the old caretaker who's still there taking care of the grounds up on these Scottish moors. This is the way it is in the film. There was an early version of the script where he was going to go there, and it was going to be a home for retired agents who were going to be played by Roger Moore,
all the old
Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery, Timothy Dalton, and George Lazenby if they could get him.
That's actually kind of cool.
So this has been part of fan discussion for years and years and years, ever since they did swap in Lazenby for Connery back in 1969. For 50 years, Kyle, this has been a discussion around the world. Is James Bond a code name that travels around with the code designation 007? Is 007 always James Bond, or is James Bond a separate man all of his own, and 007 is the number that is passed around from person to person? Because they're wondering if they're ever going to Doctor Who this and explain within the narrative of the film why there have been so many Bonds, why this is a role that continues over and over and over again. And things largely, because there's some things that like completely start over fresh with a new Bond, and other things continue. Judi Dench was M for Pierce Brosnan, and as if nothing at all changed, she was M for Daniel Craig. So people are looking for like an explanation for that, but it's that like, oh, would it become a midichlorians thing? Are you explaining too much? Are we just supposed to take it as
they're
read?
all clones?
What if he just changes, and we're never going to talk about it?
What if they're robots and we just don't know it?
So I think the way this film is going is James Bond is James Bond. Lashana Lynch is another 00. She may be the 007 now that he has left the service, but if he
I'm pretty
back,
sure that's what I heard, that she is the new 007.
I don't know. Okay, this is very nerdy. I don't know if she's literally 007 or if she's the kind of 007 role, but she's like Agent 009 or something like that.
Gotcha.
Because there are other numbers.
Right.
GoldenEye, it features 006 Alec Trevelyan. This is a lot of things I know about movies I have never seen. I have seen only the Daniel Craig's Moonraker and A View to a Kill. I just know this stuff because I listen to
James Bonding podcast
and Spectre, which I've also been on. I have a lot of it's secondhand knowledge, but it's all secondhand knowledge I hold very dear to my heart about the James Bond franchise.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing I was gonna say on that is I could see them doing something where, it is more of a passing the torch kind of thing, but maybe he takes over the position of the like Money Penny, or he's the new Caillou, right? I don't want to.
I like that you're like, he's not gonna be M. He's gonna be.
He could be the handler.
He could be Money Penny. No, Q would not let him be Q. Nobody would let him be Q.
I don't know. I'm just like, he can be in some role where he is not the one in the field. He can be like behind behind the scenes. Something like that would be neat. Anyways.
Well, this is going to be Craig's. I'll shut up about this. This is going to be Craig's last Bond. He's not going to be any in. I think it's pretty much confirmed. He's like really been aging out of the role. Like himself, he's like, I'm tired. This is a lot for me to do. This is very strenuous. I want to do one more and then I'm out.
Yeah. Black Widow.
Okay, yes. Let's move aside one spy movie and on to the next one.
Yeah. I really liked the trailer.
Yes.
I think it's 6 years too late. I don't know.
I'm sure they did it as soon as they could, because I know people have been clamoring for a Black Widow movie for ages, but as we have learned after seeing Endgame, the MCU seems like it was very tightly plotted out, and like all these little chess pieces were being moved around this board very deliberately. And also,
yeah, that's part of it. I also know that Bob Iger is a very big believer in women don't sell action figures, they can't lead movies and all of that stuff, and that is part of the spat between him and Kevin Feige. He was like, no, fuck you. Like, you don't know how to do this stuff, let me prove it. And he knocked it out of the park. I still think this is going to be fantastic. I'm gonna love it. It's just like, I think I would have loved it more if it was 6 years ago.
I don't know. I also think about Scarlett Johansson, and just like, I think she became a mother in the last handful of years. She's a very busy actress. Like, I know there's so many factors that went into why this movie is happening in 2020 and no earlier. So I don't want to hold any of that against it. It does look nifty, and I am very intrigued to see what they do with it at this particular time in the larger timeline of the movies.
Yeah.
Like how are they going to utilize 2020 to their absolute best and not treat it like the same kind of movie it would be if it had been made 6 years ago? Like, what is this timeline in the MCU going to do for this film? And how is it going to affect anything being largely a prequel?
I think it's going to be kind of a check-in on the world of espionage within the Marvel universe, because especially after S.H.I.E.L.D. is no longer around, but they also kind of are, because the TV show is still a thing, which I think they just had their last season or are about to do their last one. But still, like, the Daredevil Netflix show had a similar premise of, like, after the attack on New York, a lot of people died, and so there's kind of a power vacuum within New York. Like, a lot of these criminals were people that died in the first Avengers film, and so that's how you get Kingpin and Madame Gao and all of that stuff being like, well, maybe we'll take over, maybe our faction will start to take over the underworld. I'm wondering if there's going to be something similar, but for like global espionage stuff. Are we going to see more of AIM? We've already seen them in Iron Man 3, but maybe we'll see more of them? Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be neat.
I'm excited, though.
This looks very good. I dug the trailer. I dug that music, that like mournful tech music. That's sad sounding tech music in a way that I think really works for the tone of this trailer.
Yeah.
It's like all these electronic strings just crying out, just wailing. I've watched this trailer like 3 times, and I really dig the music.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. This looks neat. Like, I was excited for this, and the trailer like really amped up my expectations. Like, oh, this not only like looks good on paper, look, there it is in practice, and it looks very, very good.
Well, I want to talk about my terrible Thanksgiving.
Okay. All right. Tell the tale.
So everything was going just grand. It actually started off fantastically.
You woke up, you stretched, some bluebirds twittered outside the window.
Yeah. It like sat right on my finger there, right? It started like a normal day. I was eating, I was drinking, I was sipping on a mimosa. I was 2 shots in on some whiskey. Everything was fine. Wasn't even tipsy yet.
What time of day is this?
I had the second shot around 3 p.m.
Okay.
So the mimosa I started at like, I don't know, noon.
Okay.
Ish. and I wasn't
Not to
drinking
not
on
to
an empty
judge
stomach.
you. Drink any time of the day you feel like it.
Oh.
I know like at least one of your roommates is a bartender. I know y'all have the bar set up. And I know you don't drive. So if anybody is qualified to
I'm
be
just gonna be
drinking
here
any
all
hour of the
day.
it's you. I just need like I want the timeline for this.
Yeah, so
Okay, so it's 3 o'clock.
I had food in my stomach too, so it's not like
Nice.
I was
Quality.
doing all of this on an empty stomach. But yeah, I take that second shot of whiskey, and then shortly after that, my roommate is like, "Hey, do you want to go smoke with us?" And I was like, "You know what? Why not? Let's just do it."
Now, are these cigarettes or jazz cigarettes?
Sure. It was a jazz cigarette. Jazz cigarette. So I'm not a smoker at all.
Okay.
It's something that doesn't really appeal to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not against it though. And my roommates have really wanted to get me high to like see what I'm like. And they've
Delightful.
tried multiple times, and it
And there
hasn't
was
worked.
also the time that you ate a weed brownie by mistake, not knowing what it was, but then you went ahead immediately to sleep anyway of your own volition, so you didn't even know you were high.
I slept
'cause
through
it was
my
like,
first high. Yeah.
brownie. All right, that was my midnight snack. Time to brush my teeth, crawl into bed. Nighty night, everyone. You
Yeah.
wake up feeling exactly the same as you did when
Yeah,
you went
I
to
slept
bed.
through it all. It was terrible. It was the worst. It was a weed cookie. Was the first time.
Thought it was a brownie.
But yes,
correct
Sam,
this.
it was a nice sleep. I slept fantastically. But they've tried since then to like pack me a bowl and see if that works, and just for whatever reason hasn't worked. Either haven't gotten high or they've had bad weed, stuff like that. And so this was one of those times where it was like, it's Thursday. I have nothing to do today, tomorrow, the next day. Like, why not?
No, it's Thanksgiving. It's Thursday.
It's Thursday. People smoke on Thursday, right? So
Thursday, the 420 of days.
So I was just like, yeah, why not? Let's just go downstairs and smoke. So I smoked. I hit the bong, and and I went back upstairs and started to like help with the dishes and stuff, because we were like just starting to like do all the, like the big cooking stuff. So I was like, all right, I need to help out with the dishes and do my part, because I don't cook. My roommates do all of that stuff, so I'm just sitting there partying it up, and I was like, I need to be helpful somehow. And then it hits me.
Oh,
and I was just like, oh, that last shot, it's starting to get to me. And technically, I knew it was whiskey. I didn't know what kind of whiskey. My roommate had it, and he brought it from work. So,
what?
It's like there's alcohol in my system. Some of that alcohol, I don't know what it is exactly.
So, like, you were
then I smoked.
handed, you never saw the bottle, you were handed a shot, and you were told, Kyle, this is whiskey.
When you ask, when you're in like a restaurant and you get your leftovers to go, and they put the sauce in like those like see-through condiment containers.
Yeah.
It was that, like individual shots of some kind of whiskey.
So your roommate at their bar just fills up condiment cups with individual shots to take home.
Yeah, somehow, some way. But yeah, so I was like, it felt like I was the center of gravity, and I was starting to get very claustrophobic. And I was just like, man, that last shot must have really gotten to me. Like, oh, I'm starting to get dizzy. This is not good. I just set the things down, turned around, and said, I will be right back. And I walked upstairs, and I could barely make it upstairs. It was to the point where I felt like I was about to pass out. Just like I couldn't see. The room was spinning so much that I was just like, I went from 0 to 100, like that. I got inside the bathroom and I sat down, and I had the spins worse than I've ever had them before, and I was just like, I don't feel good at all. This is awful. I remember there was one time where like in a more lucid moment, because it started to feel like I was leaving my body, and that's when I knew it's like, okay, this isn't the alcohol. This is the mixture of the alcohol and the weed, which is probably not a good thing to do.
Kyle, I gotta tell you, this is a way more thrilling story than I thought it was, because I thought you were just going to be like, I got the stomach flu, and I'm like, nice story, Kyle.
I was tripping balls.
See, I didn't think there were any balls involved at all.
Well, so I in a more lucid moment, I remember, like, I just had this, like, I feel like almost movie moment where if it was like filming me, there would have been this scene of me like, just like, I don't know what is happening. and I did that, and then I just, yeah, it got to a point where I was like, this is bad. This is really bad. I don't know what's happening. So I ended up texting my roommates, which I'm sure took me the whole 5 minutes just to
yes,
figure out what is happening.
I gotta remember where my thumbs are.
Yeah, basically. I was just like, I don't feel good. Send. And that was it. And I managed to get into my room and lay down. But by that point, it felt better to keep moving. So I was like, it just in my bed, just like constantly, just like this, and like I started like shaking and stuff, and I was just like, I don't feel good at all. This is terrible. I don't know how long it took. Eventually, my roommate came upstairs and was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I was just like, "Dude, I don't feel good at all." He was like, "All right, what's happening right now?" I was like, everything is spinning, which is like, I feel like I'm drunk. Like I know what it's like to be so drunk that like the room is spinning, right? And it's just like, this is not fun. But I was like, this is that times 10. Like I don't know what is happening. So he was like, all right, put some music on, some really calming stuff to like help focus you. Just something you can focus on. And so
lo-fi beats to chill and study to.
Right. Lo-fi beats to vomit to. But like, so I put that on, and literally like a minute after, I was like, no warning whatsoever, I was like, it's happening. And I leaned over the edge of my bed and just start puking my guts up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure I knew he was standing right there, but I had my eyes shut the whole time because if I opened them, it was just like that would make it worse.
Oh,
Um,
sure.
and I threw up twice, but in the middle of that first time, it was to the like I was like twisted and leaned over, and I was like, this does not feel good. I need to like lay flat down. So I was like on my stomach, like head over the edge of my bed, being like hoping if I can like use gravity to like get all of this out of me. The second time I threw up, there was so much that, again, in the middle of it, just a very lucid moment of just like, I'm gonna die. There's so much of this, I can't breathe. Like I don't know what's gonna happen, and I got it all out, and ended up dry heaving a bit after that, but just immediately passed out, and just eventually was able to sip on some water and stuff like that. I ended up sleeping for the next like 5 or 6 hours, waking up that night being fine enough to clean up, and just like, all right, I need to get my shit together.
Okay. Hold on. All right. No. Walk me through this. Your roommate comes in, puts on the lo-fi beats.
Eventually leaves. Just
Then
like, I'm gonna come check on you in 10 minutes.
Okay.
And like, food.
Okay. And then you just like angle yourself over your bed, throw up on your floor, and like 6 hours later, it's still there.
Yeah. So yeah. Dude, I'm so like, if I move, if I do anything, I'm gonna throw up even more. All of that stuff. And my roommates don't want to clean up my vomit in my room right next to where I might throw up on them
imagine. And from all I've heard about them, and the one time your one roommate just walked in to say hi, like, your roommates are great. But the fact that they're like, well, there's just a pile of vomit on the floor 1 story above us. Let's all sit down to a nice Thanksgiving meal.
Who wants the macaroni?
I couldn't do that with that on my conscience. How do you live?
I mean, like, it was one of those things, like, it felt bad for me.
Mm-hmm.
Though I also don't have anything else to compare it to, right? So it's just like, I mean, I've been very drunk before, but I haven't been drunk to the point where I'm that sick. But he was just like, look, you'll be fine. You're throwing up, so that's getting it all out of your system. Best thing for you to do is just sleep. Here's a towel. I'll bring up some Gatorade in half an hour or something. I was just like, all right, fine. Yeah, and I woke up at like 9 or 10, and that was when I cleaned up, went back to bed, woke up at like 3 in the morning, and was like, I need food.
Yeah.
And I had a tiny bit of turkey. The first thing I ate was a piece of cheesecake. It was just like, I want more of this Thanksgiving. I mean, I guess not more, but like, I want the Thanksgiving stuff. But I felt like the cheesecake was like bland, and not like it's basically one consistency. It's filling, And
this is true. This is true.
Right.
I wouldn't call it bland, but a cheesecake is
right. Yeah.
spiceless. It is neutral. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
It
so
is
I was like,
a good neutral food.
I'm gonna have that. It's a bit heavier than I would like, especially if I get sick again. But if I felt fine, I was just like, I need to eat something. So I ate that. It's fantastic. It was great cheesecake. But I ate that and I went back to bed, and I woke up the next day at like 3 in the afternoon. So like this basically knocked me out for 24 hours. And I hadn't eaten, and I woke up and I made myself some mashed potatoes and turkey at 3 in the afternoon the next day.
I know you were sick, but the fact that you got up at 3 a.m., ate a piece of cheesecake, went to bed for 12 hours.
I was hungry. I had the munchies or something. I don't know. It was like that was like my first instinct was I need food. Oh yeah, I have a piece of cheesecake. That's what I should eat.
This seems like something you would do to treat yourself. Like, oh, Kyle's got a day off. I'm gonna eat one piece of cheesecake and sleep.
Go buy myself a piece of cheesecake. Yeah, it was not fun though. I was shaking. I felt like I couldn't move. The whole room was spinning. Like I felt like I couldn't move, or I would throw up more. But I felt like I had to keep moving because that was just what my body wanted to do.
That's weird. That I've never experienced.
Yeah. So there you go, kids. Don't do drugs. Or just don't smoke and drink at the same time, because that's bad.
Don't drink.
Especially,
I know you.
Especially when you're like me and you don't smoke. So like doing that one of your first times, not a good idea.
Yeah, that's too many things at once. Like, slow down. You're young. You can smoke weed when you're 34 on a day when you have nothing else to do.
It's a Thursday.
My watch says it's Thursday.
Yeah. So, there you go.
That was so much of a better story than I was expecting. I was expecting you just had like a sob story about I got the flu and I couldn't eat any mashed potatoes.
No, I had a bad trip.
Oh boy.
And then Elon Musk announced Cybertruck.
Okay.
I want to end the show on this.
Yes, we have to talk about Cybertruck.
It's trash and I love it.
Okay, so I saw you'd put this link in our Google Doc. Oh no, I'm crying my eyeliner off, Kyle. Look what you've done. So you put this link in our show notes, and it says Cybertruck is trash and I love it, and it's just a link to the Tesla website, and it is not remotely what I would have guessed Cybertruck looks like.
No.
For the audience, you may be picturing something kind of sleek and futuristic, maybe with like a cool like electric blue stripe. Cybertruck is none of these. Cybertruck looks like it was rendered in 8-hole polygons.
Yeah.
And it comes in one color.
It looks like a
gray.
Lego car.
Exactly. It looks like the basic introductory wireframe of a car.
PS1
Not even PS1. This is like the first test. Like, you know, it's like it's 1988 and they're trying to make what would eventually become Pixar. This is test 1. Okay, we can program Sphere. Next test, program Truck. And this is what they make.
Yeah. Sam says it's a fucking super effects ass looking Cybertruck.
It's so blocky. It's so polygonal. Like, it's so sharp.
I want one. I want one so bad. It looks so ugly. I love it. And when I mount my laser gun on top of that, I'll be like, Melissa, hop in. We're going cyberpunking.
All right, let me put on all my most neon clothes.
Right? Yeah. Just like an all
I'll have to buy a leather jacket.
Tracksuit. Right?
I look
just
like
all
Xenon
metallic.
Girl of the 21st century.
Yeah. Yeah, hack the planet, Sam. That's right.
Hack it.
Hack the planet.
I don't understand how in good conscience they can refer to this as truck.
Because, I mean, it's a truck.
No.
Just, no.
Okay. So, like, the back of it is considerably larger than the front of it, like truck. But, like, okay, so the car comes to a point, like, right above, like, the front row. And then it slopes smoothly all the way down to the back of the truck. It's like if you just smoothed out, you just ran an entire plane from, like, the cab all the way to, like, the tail of the truck. It's just smooth and flat. Like, a truck is L-shaped. This is, like, you made a coding mistake.
So apparently they did this test where it was like the Cybertruck and like a Ford S150, right? They're big, like super dirty thing.
Yeah.
And they had them go in opposite opposite directions to see which one was stronger. And then all of a sudden, like, Neil deGrasse Tyson was like, well, actually, that experiment is faulty. Like, blah, 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 blah. And then
what do you mean
Ford
all
was
of the
like,
sudden? Like, was he watching this live? Where is he coming from?
Yeah, they posted this video to be like, look, see how strong Cybertruck is.
All of a sudden.
Pull a Ford F-150 going full speed the opposite
adding
way.
Elements to it, like this is the ultimate showdown of ultimate destiny, and then like, and this guy's there, and then Bill Nye the Science Guy says this, and pow, who is that stepping through the door? That's Adam Savage.
Yeah, he said this myth is busted. But no, so apparently the whole experiment that they ran may have been a little rigged, but then Ford came out and was like, hey, we'll take you on any day. And then he was like, sure.
Oh, there's going to be a truck fight.
Elon Musk was like, yeah, I will send you a Cybertruck right now. We can do this again. Round two. Let's go. I will send you one. And then they were all like, maybe we shouldn't do this thing. We're just like, come on, Ford.
What are you going to do if you lose to Cybertruck? It's not like then every like Ford owner is going to be like, well, I got to get Cybertruck. What can Cybertruck store? Sure, it's strong. Sure, it can haul. But like, what do you put in it? What can fit inside Cybertruck? It doesn't look very big. What is its bed space? How much lumber? Cybertruck and lumber
do you really think lumber
compatible.
Is going to be the building material of the future, Melissa?
But that's what truck is for. Ford truck for lumber, Kyle.
What if it's steel? Huh? What if it's some alien metal that we don't know yet? Cyber lumber. Thank you, Sam. Give me all the cyber lumber.
You couldn't put a bunch of lumber out the back of this thing because, like, have I even seen what is the back view of Cybertruck? Is there a 360-degree Cybertruck that I can spin around? It doesn't open. There's not a flap. There's no buttons. What? Does it turn into a grill? I don't. Where am I? I'm looking at
Melissa,
it. Okay, so
welcome to the future.
Okay, so like the back slope, it slides up, back slope hides, truck bed flip open. Cool. Still doesn't look very big. I don't think you could put like a bunch of kids and a dog back there, you know.
Who knows? Maybe you could put a robot back there.
Who besides you is the audience for Cybertruck? Like a Kurt Russell role? Just like a movie Kurt Russell hasn't made yet? Is
I don't
that
know,
the
man.
man that will buy Cybertruck?
I like tacky. I love it.
It is. Oof. Oh, Kyle, you gotta go to Disney Plus and you have to look up this episode of The Simpsons where Homer finds out he has this long lost half brother voiced by Danny DeVito. And this long lost half brother reaches out to Homer, like they try and like connect to each other and become friends. And this brother, his name is Herb. I remember this very specifically. Herb owns a car manufacturing plant. And he's like, Homer, my brother, my new friend, my, blood of my blood. I invite you into
Flesh
my
of
firm.
flesh. Yeah.
Design a car for me. And Homer designs, it's like, it's everything he's ever wanted in a car. And it is nonsense. No, oh, come on. Oh, it has like a window. It has like 2 bubbles. It has a giant spoiler. Let me send you Persephone. He names the car Persephone. God, go look up Persephone. This is exactly what it is. This is the Persephone for a modern generation.
I'll have to check it out when we're off here because my internet is being funky on my computer since I have everything up and running here. Actually, let me see if I can open up my laptop. Let me see. Simpsons car Persephone images. It is nonsense.
Look at it. It has like an awooga horn coming out the top of it. Giant spoiler. It's lime green. I'm describing a cartoon car illustrated in the year 1991.
The fins on the back of the car, that's like an old car from the 1950s, but then like exaggerated so that they're super tall. Mm-hmm. There's 2 bubbles for like people to sit in. That it's like some UFO cockpit style thing. It's ugly, but yeah, that's gonna be me and my Cybertruck. Gonna be great. Anyways, let's wrap things up there with that. Melissa, where can people find you on the internet?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at WilkyWit. That's WILKYWIT. Come talk to me about James Bond. I know some things, and the some things I know, I am quite proud of.
There you go.
I'm going to learn more. I'm not going to continue the whole rest of my life having only seen 6 James Bond movies out of 24.
You guys can find me at YoKyleSpringer on Twitter and Instagram. I was gonna say you guys could come talk to me about something, but I don't know what I want you all to
talk to him about cyber things.
Yeah, come if you're a fellow cyberpunk, come be a cyberpunk with me. You guys can also find us at the Whatnauts on Twitter. If you guys want to stay up to date with our show, that's where you can do it. If you like what we do, patreon.com/the Whatnauts is where you can support us. Thank you to our patrons at the $5 tier, like Sam, who has been in the chat here. And thank you to Christine. For helping us out. Yeah. Also on our Patreon, we have a bunch of exclusive content. Yeah. We recently finally put up our trivia night episode. So that's up there. You guys can go check that out. You guys can also get access to episodes early, all sorts of that stuff. You guys can find out more info on our website, thewhatnauts.com, which is also where you can find all of our shows. We have multiple shows, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. Just type in the Whatnauts, and that's where you'll find us.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That being said, hopefully we'll be back next week with a full-length episode.
Yeah.
That's what we meant to do this week. Oh, we should be good to go next week.
Yeah.
So
I'll know everything about my computer by then.
Yeah. There you go. Sweet. We'll be back next week with episode 77 of the Captain's Log. This has been episode 76. We will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, thank you so much for checking out our show. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you guys thought of the Cybertruck, or whatever that thing is. Who knows? In the meantime, go subscribe to our channel right up here, and go watch one of our other videos right down there. So we got a ton more of those. Hopefully you'll like those too. We got other podcasts for you to check out. So go do that. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, rate and review, do all that stuff. You guys know the deal.